Good morning. I'm so excited. Stella's back. Ugh. Stella is back. Stella, my hydroponic spaceship flower pot. And I'm going to give her a little trim. I brought her home yesterday, set her up. Here she is in all her glory. You'll notice she's not in the sun. And it's 11 a.m. So I could move her further out, which I may do. Of course, she doesn't have her dolly anymore, so that will not be an easy task. But yeah, I'm excited. I just trimmed up some of the flowers on the basil. The basil all went to flower. There was more flowers here. There's some leaves and things that broke when I moved her. She did really well though. I bet actually the chard would be a good example of that. So look at this baby Swiss chard. And then there's the top. Look at them. Do you see these legs? They're so beautiful. So like I'll trim like this guy. I'll just trim this off. And yeah, I found some leaves on the other side that had broken just from transport. This is a kale. We've got tomatoes. Not ripe, but lots and lots of tomatoes. Probably not much to prune on that except for like little dead bits. So when it was more in growth mode, I was pruning off the suckers, but it is just definitely not in growth mode. Oh look, there's a few flowers. I got out my little vibrator thing. Oh come on, get your mind out of the gutter. But basically it's like an electric toothbrush, and if you vibrate these, they'll self-pollinate. Talk more about that sometime. But yeah, look at this gorgeous kale. Look at them. There's a couple plants there. What else do we got going on? Some mixed greens. These, I think, yeah, these babies were brand new when I left. So that makes them, oh, see here's an example. So like, see how this is broken? But it still like looks really fresh. It survived basically 24 hours here broken. So I'm going to trim that off. There's nothing wrong with it. And that goes in the to eat pile. And then I'll trim off stuff like this that obviously is just dead and does not look happy, and that'll go in the compost pile, the bowl that will go to compost. Yeah, this whole plant down here actually looks, there's like a whole plant down here that looks pretty rugged. So that I'll just trim it out. I've got a couple empty ports, like this guy. It says green beans. I think this was actually where the watermelon was, which I let go of before I left. But yeah, and then there's, no. Well, yeah, so anyway, there's a couple empty ports. So I will order. This looks like somebody got snacking. Don't know who, but I'll be on the lookout for caterpillars, which are bad news bears, and make sure I get rid of any oh, see, there's these little bugs. Did you see them? I did see some of these before. Who are they? They're down here. Little tiny little fairy bugs. So I'll find out what's going on that. Google is my friend. We also have a Facebook group. Who's this? Oh, you know who this is? This is, let me see if I can get in there better. I'm gonna go walk around. That is, it's a pepper. It's a sweet pepper. Before we get to the pepper, oh look, this basil, not to be confused with that basil. This I think is the Genovese basil, and the other one is the Thai basil. You'll see it's going to flower. So I'm gonna actually trim this off. I could let it go to seed and harvest the seeds, but you know that's not gonna happen. But not all plants, but many leafy greens, when they go to seed, the leaves that you want to eat get bitter. Oh, let's talk about this. This is Koji Tatsoi. It is a cousin of bok choy. And is it not just like the shine? Can you hear it? Let me get a little closer to the mic. Oh, Stella just turned off. You heard how the water was running and the pump turned off. So shiny and green and beautiful. So what I'll do with this guy is I'll come out to the outside, find some of its bigger leaves, and the ones that are kind of more buried, like this guy, and I'll trim it off. I do have scissors, and then that will be part of what I harvest to eat. Yeah, look, somebody is eaten. Somebody is eaten. Apparently the deal with caterpillars, though, you usually see their poop, and I don't see any poop. Well, I haven't yet. And then they hide out on the bottom of the backsides of the leaves, so I'll go looking for them. But yeah, so this is a pepper. Isn't that cute? I ate one the other day, and it wasn't quite ripe, but it looks like a jalapeno or one of those, but it's not. It's actually a sweet pepper. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy. See, it's always an adventure. There's always something to be learned at Stella. So, do you see these black dots? That is not... I don't know what it is. There's molds to look out for. There's critters to look out for. This one is new to me. I will be Googling it. I will be looking at the Facebook group. And I will not be eating this leaf. All right, well, it's like this really fun get reacquainted session that I'm going to have with Stella today. Just look at this little bug. Do you see him? There he is. Whoop. It's like a little fairy. He's very thin-leaved, thin-limbed, thin-winged. Chives. I've eaten very few of the chives. When I took out the marigolds, the chives had a rough time because their roots were intertwined, so it really suffered. You'll see there's some dead stuff in there that I need to trim, but look at this. These are garlic chives, and you can tell they taste garlicky. And then here's thyme. Thyme is on my side. All right, well, wish me luck. I wish I could convey to you, translate for you all the relationships I have with each of these little plants, which guys, nearly died. There's 2 Swiss chards. Well, let's go talk about them. There's 2 Swiss chards, and one of them nearly died right from the get-go, and the other one, look at this. That's the root. I mean, not the root. That's the base of the Swiss chard. New leaves. Anyway, one of the Swiss chard pods, so what you can see here, see this yellow, lighter green stalk guy, and this yellow stalk, they actually come out of the same cup, but they're obviously different plants. Here's its neighbor, rainbow Swiss chard. It's kind of a tangly mess, its base roots. But this one almost died from the get-go. Parsley has done well. Parsley was nothing before. So anyway, I may harvest some of these, the whole plant, get rid of them, and then replace them with something new. But that's not today. All right. Thanks for joining me on Exploring Stella. I look forward to harvesting, eating some greens, and seeing what I find in there.